that's it. Check the dimensions of the treble. It's too big, it's non-standard, it's literally laughable.
Welcome to the Singha Beer Grand Slammer Darts from the Wolverhampton Civic Hall. I'm Dan Dawson for On The Wire, where darts meets art. Yeah, more of that later. Plus, we've got some genuine artwork done by the darters themselves, which we'll be exhibiting in our gallery. And we are looking at all the action, of course, from Tuesday night. Rod Harrington alongside me, a two-time world match play winner, former world #1. The list is endless. I could go on.
Don't go on.
I could go on. We won't. We won't.
You get me big-headed.
We have to start with Phil the Power Taylor, of course.
Listen up.
Yeah, all right, you're headlining the show, Phil. He was sublime, again, 106 average, not quite the 114 we saw previously. He beat Andy Hamilton, a spirited Andy Hamilton, but an eliminated Andy Hamilton nonetheless. He is through to the knockout rounds, is Phil the Power Taylor. It's the kind of stuff that makes these guys in Japan put together this weird advert about him. Yeah, all this sort of strange imagery makes it look like a weird, pretentious perfume ad, like Power Pour On. It's an incredible piece of work. I'm not sure if, Rod, you've ever had any kind of tributes along those lines. Probably not, I'm guessing.
Not that we can say on TV.
No, fair enough. But all the same, he was very, very good. There's not a danger that he's peaked too early in this tournament, is there?
No, not a chance. I mean, if you look at the Phil Taylor's career, he can throw 110 averages every single game. I mean, the game against Andy Hamilton tonight, you know, Andy Hamilton took the game to Phil Taylor. And sometimes over the last couple of months, last 3 TV tournaments, when someone's taken the game to Phil, he's wilted a bit. Tonight he didn't. You know, Andy threw everything by the kitchen sink, and Phil still kept his focus, kept his rhythm, and come out, and it was a great performance.
Well, he is through to the knockout rounds. It's going to be Peter Wright, Snake Bites, who faces him next. He beat Simon Whitlock 5-3. You can see in there double 4, he killed it off on that particular double, but there was 135 checkout in that match. That really turned the tide in his favour. And Dave Allen, our man, spoke to him after the game.
Is it a case now that you've got the group stage out of the way, then you can focus a little bit more on the longer matches, perhaps relax a little bit more and just get into your rhythm in the game?
Yeah, I think that will definitely help. You know, I think that'll come in now. You know, all my dancing around over a short distance, I'm tiring myself out. But after the first 2 legs, I've just got my breath back, ready. Yeah. Yeah, over the longer distance, yeah, I think I'll settle in and play some proper darts.
Yeah, really impressive stuff from Snakebite. We saw some really impressive stuff from a few players, actually. James Wade rattling through his game with Tony O'Shea 5-1. A 5-0 win for Gary Anderson in less than 9 minutes against Wesley Harms. But a couple of wins, Michael Smith and Stephen Bunting. They're 3 out of 3 in the group stages. Who is impressed you, Rod? Who should we be looking out for going into the next round?
Well, I think this has got to be classed as one of the open tournaments of all time. I mean, to say, you know, Michael Van Gerwen's going to win it or Phil Taylor's going to win it, when you've got the likes of James Wade, the way he's been playing over the last few months, Gary Anderson with his scoring power, and then we talk about, it's horrible to say the lesser players, but the and them sort of players, they've got this electrifying scoring power. So if you've got the scoring power, you're going to give yourself darts at a double. If you've got the bottle, then you take those doubles out. And the more these others play on the TV in big games, the more they get the bottle. So it could be probably one of 8 players could win this tournament. Everybody's going to go with Taylor or Van Gerwen. But hey, I wouldn't stick my penny on any of them at the moment.
Well, it is all set up fascinatingly here at the Singha Beer Grand Slammer Darts. And, you know, we often do interviews with players, but here on the Wire, we like to do things a little bit differently. We've been getting them to draw some pictures, give us a bit of artwork, you know, a cultural feast, if you like. We're basically the South Bank show, and we're exhibiting some of that work in our gallery with Tony Dart. So here we see, this is Michael, who's 24 from St Helens. You see a lovely picture here, and it's a self-portrait. That's him there on the left, and that's Junior just next to him in a World Championship trophy. What a lovely picture, confidently predicting his World Champion. Moving on now, this is from Kim. Kim's from Belgium, in Antwerp. He calls this one Addicted to 180s. What a lovely title, although I'm sure you, like me, have very little idea what's going on in the picture itself. Moving on now, this one's from Rod in Essex. Now, Rod's not given us an age, but I think we can tell from just the style of it that it's probably quite substantial. Yeah, certainly a classical style is the nice way of putting it. Down here, this is Adrian, who's 29 and from Stoke, and this is lovely, a real touching thing. He's done a portrait of his favourite On The Wire presenter. Isn't that lovely? This one, Phil, 54 years young, from Stoke, and you can see there he is with the little eyes and smiling face, and he did this last year predicting he'd win a 17th world title. Didn't quite happen how he wanted it, but a lovely picture. Do carry on sending those pictures in as much as you can. Well, as you can see, we are back in the betting corner with Neil Andrews from 666bet, our betting partner here at the Singha Beer Grand Slam of Darts. Let's look ahead to the start of the second round, the knockout rounds. We've got 4 matches on the way on Wednesday night. Just talk us through what you've got here for us.
Well, Chizzy versus Kong, that looks like it's going to be a really good game. The way Robbie Green is playing, I think he could give Dave Chisnall a bit of a fright, a bit of a favourite, Chisnall here. He's very, very popular with the crowd. But as Rod was saying in Monday night's show, Keegan Brown, I think he's the one you've got to watch in this this evening session. Van Barneveld, you know, he's not been playing well recently. You know, he's been doing the job to maybe earn his paycheck, but he's not really been getting into the tournaments like he should do. And Brown, Demolish Lewis, I think he could go and really give Van Barneveld a real good fright tomorrow night. So I'll go for Brown if I was going to be a betting man today. Well,
I'll tell you what, there's some fantastic value. Look, that Keegan Brown. Terry Jenkins, of course, he beat Michael van Gerwen in the semi-finals of the UK Open. And Alan Norris, 11-8, second favourite against Kim Huybrechts. I think there's some serious money to be made here. It's already looking like a fantastic evening of darts. Some really good walk-ons as well, you know, MVG and Barney. But whose is the best?
In at number 3, a non-mover in the charts, but a mover on the stage. It's Peter, one dart Manley of Is This the Way to Amarillo? Down 1 place at number 2, it's Hawaii 501, Wayne Mardle. No, you come on, mate. Book him, Dano. No, section him. And rising to number 1 like a workman on a Werner podium ladder. Great product placement, mate. It's Steve the Muffin Man Hine. Do you know the Muffin Man? You do now.
So, no Muffin Man on Wednesday night's action here at the Singha Beer Grand Slam of Darts. However, MVG, Barney, some really good looking games, Rod. What really excites you about the action?
Well, I think we've got so many good players that are actually on form, and then they're looking beyond this tournament to the World Championships. So if they can get their form together for this tournament, it holds them in good stead for that tournament. But you've got James Wade. I mean, he's got the nickname of the machine, perfect nickname for James Wade. Gary Anderson, that flowing style, I mean, can kill anybody. You know, we talked about Keegan Brown against Barney. Let's not forget, 2 years ago, Barney won this tournament and played absolutely brilliant. He won the Premier League at the beginning of the year. So any time Barney can rock up and win this tournament. And then you've got MVG. We haven't actually talked about him too much, but he's been coming in on the blind side. And then, of course, you've got Phil Taylor. So I think I've named just about everybody in the tournament.
Just a quick note as well, obviously, really short format in the group stages. Now we're into the second round. How does that change things? How does it change the players' approach?
It changed the players' approach a lot. They're not going to panic, and I think that's why the two BDO boys are not the favourites in their game. If it had been a best of 9, I think Norris and perhaps Kong would have been a lot tighter on their odds. But this best of 19, first to 10, the pros have been on the PDC have been playing this format for years and years and years. It takes a little bit of extra endurance. You've got to keep your concentration for a little bit longer, and also let's not forget you're getting more commercial breaks. Every 5 legs, you're getting a commercial break. The BDO boys are not used to that, so that's why they've been moved out to the outsiders.
Okay, thank you very much, Rod. It's a pleasure, as always, to have your expertise alongside us here.
And what about the chocolate biscuits, by the way?
We'll have some chocolate biscuits. And
just cannot get the staff.
Yeah. Anyway, we have been on the wire. It's been quite an arty one, you know, what with the gallery, all the artwork we got the players to do, and that weird Phil Taylor Japanese commercial made it look like some sort of perfume ad. But here on the wire, you don't get any of that nonsense from us.
When George Noble has called game, shot, and the match. What then? On the wire, on the wire, on the wire, on the wire. On the wire. Par homme, par femme. Le bar 3 Chisnel, Saint-Hélène.
It's too big, it's non-standard, it's literally laughable.